No.
I think that's when you're like born a boy, but you think you're supposed to be a girl, and you're born a girl, but you think you're supposed to be a boy.
What?
Well, I know what gender is.
I assume it's not being sure if you're
A male or a
boy
female.
or a girl.
I believe gender identity disorder is basically when you're born a guy or if you're born a woman and you think you should be the opposite gender.
Gender identity disorder is when a person born at birth is discontent with their gender, such as a boy being a girl and a girl being a boy.
Is it when you don't really sure if you're a boy or a girl?
No, I do not know. I can guess though. I have trouble trying to see what the word means and break it down. So gender meaning I'm a boy or a girl, and identity that means like who you are, and disorder like the opposite of the order, like it's a problem. So I'm guessing a boy or a girl, they don't know who they are. So if my name's Amber, I think I should be a Roman, and if my name is Roman, I think I should be an Amber. In other words, I want to be a boy. I don't want to be a boy, but you get what I'm saying. Is that it?
Gender identity disorder, also known as GID, is the strong feelings of identification with the opposite gender and discomfort with one's own assigned sex. People with gender identity disorder desire to live as members of the opposite sex and often dress and use mannerisms associated with the other gender. Children with GID may manifest coexisting separation anxiety disorder and symptoms of depression. Adolescents in particular are at risk for suicidal thoughts and attempts. An evaluation at adult gender clinics showed associated personality disorder are more common among males than among females. The Metamorphosis Greek myth includes a story about a woman raised as a male falling in love with another woman. The woman was transferred into man prior to the wedding ceremony. It is therefore considered that people who desire to live as though they have the opposite gender have existed since ancient times. People who express a sense of discomfort with their anatomical sex and related roles have been reported in medical literature since the middle of the 19th century. The newest edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders will replace the diagnostic term gender identity disorder with the term gender dysphoria, according to the Associated Press. Lobbyists want to change the term gender identity disorder to gender dysphoria for the reason that GID suggests that person is mentally ill. In one legal case, according to San Francisco psychiatrist Stan Karasik, a trans woman from Utah risks losing the children she fathered before a transition. Because she is trans, a lawyer has argued that her GID is a severe chronic mental illness that might be harmful to the children. Mental health professionals who work with trans clients are also pushing for a revised list of symptoms so that a diagnosis will not apply to people whose distress comes from external prejudice, adults who have transitioned, or children who simply do not meet gender stereotypes. The Church does not approve changing the person's physical appearance. This process would involve surgery or hormone therapy. The Church does not allow a male to female trans marry a man because this is seen as same-sex marriage. The Pope challenged notions of so-called gender theory and whether it aims to erase sexual difference because it no longer knows how to confront it. Pope Benedict XVI says people deny their nature and decide that it is not something previously given to them, but that they make it for themselves. At its most basic level, gender theory is simply the assertion that sex and gender are distinct from each other, sex being one's chromosomal makeup and gender being one's internal psychological or spiritual identity. The assumption in Pope Benedict's speech is that transsexuality is a rejection of how God made us and a decision to decide for ourselves how to live. Because Christianity takes our created bodies seriously, It is compelled to view it as a disorder of creation if a man or woman feels discomfort with his or her body and desires either to dress and act in the manner of the opposite sex or to change his or her sex by means of hormones or surgery. Ultimately, such feelings or actions are fruitless violations of our nature. Such surgery, for example, will not change the individual's chromosomal makeup, but will only mutilate the body God has given. The Catechism of the Catholic Church states, everyone, man and woman, should acknowledge and accept his sexual identity. Physical, moral, and spiritual difference and complementarity are oriented toward the goods of marriage and the flourishing of family life. The harmony of the couple and of society depends in part on the way in which the complementarity, needs, and mutual support between the sexes are lived out. There is a near 100% absence of fathers in the homes of boys who suffer from GID. 80% of mothers and 45% of fathers have had some type of psychiatric problem or treatment to address their symptoms of GID. As much as 1 out of 30,000 adult males seek sexual reassignment surgery. 52% of children between the ages of 4 to 11 have one or more diagnosed conditions alongside their gender identity disorder.